What's going on, people? Welcome back to our Arsenal news show. Of course, we're here every single day to keep you the latest Arsenal transfer news and rumours. Before you do so, make sure you do hit like button and also subscribe to the channel if you are new, as we are on the road to 11,000 subscribers. Got an interesting story to go through today. We're talking about Rodrigo, of course, from Real Madrid. It's a very interesting situation over there at Madrid. Not for just him, but them as a club getting Ancelotti going to Brazil, and also Xabi Alonso will be the new manager. So a lot is changing over there in Madrid. They are still going to be signing some players in the summer. One player that we were linked with in Dean Huijsen is going on to Madrid. That was very, very close in being done. They've activated his release clause, and he wants to go to Madrid. So there's not a lot of clubs can do about it. So they're already getting down to business already. But one player that may be on the move for Madrid, guys, is Rodrigo. Yes, there's quite a lot of interesting situation happening with Rodrigo at Madrid. I think he was left out of the or didn't even come off the bench against Barcelona in the El Clasico, and in the past couple of days, sorry, the speculation has risen, and there's a lot of talk about Rodrigo potentially moving on in the summer for Real Madrid. If an offer came in for Rodrigo, yes, it's going to be number one, a lot of money, but he could actually move on in the summer as well. So a few reports coming out by Dio AS, the Spanish report. This guy over there, he's saying that this came out a few days ago, but since then a few other reports came out and said similar about this. Apparently, the club showing the strongest interest in Rodrigo this summer is Arsenal. Not just Arsenal, as we know, there's many clubs in going to be looking for Rodrigo, but at the moment, there's nothing really concrete about this. Nothing really concrete. Nothing really that's going to happen that we're actually going to go for a move for him. We're just showing a bit of interest in Rodrigo if he does become available, and rightly so for me. Rightly so. If this guy becomes available in the summer, you know, understand the price tag. That's the big thing. The price tag is going to be over 100 million euros. That is what they value Rodrigo. They're not going to probably sell it for anything less than that. If we're being honest with him, it's one of their been there many years, top class player, and he's probably in this sort of market we're looking at now. He is probably worth that amount of money. But if he does become available in the summer, why not? Why not Arsenal? Could you imagine a front three of Rodrigo on the left, which I think he's actually his natural position, by the way, is on the left, Saka on the right, and then of course our new striker Victor Gyökeres, whoever it may be, down the middle. We not only have a elite defense in Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Skelly. The midfield's improving as well. Mendy, Rice, and Partey, or maybe Odegaard. And then the front three of Rodrigo, Saka, and Gyökeres. The team would be absolutely stacked. And there's a player like sorry, did I say Rodriguez? Rodrigo. And a player like Rodrigo, right? This guy is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I know when he played against Arsenal, he didn't really do that. We kind of locked him up, really. But when you watch this guy for many years now, we know how top class of a player this guy is, and these are the winners that you need to be signing. A lot of people, which I kind of hear where they're coming from when they say this has similar vibes, this has similar feelings to Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez is miles clear. A prime Alexis Sanchez is miles clear of Rodrigo. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry. Okay, so that I don't understand, but I get when the sort of guy in from Spain, Rodrigo, Alexis we got from Madrid, and sorry, from Barcelona, and he wasn't really like he was in the shadows of the prime Barcelona players that they had there. The likes of I think it was Neymar's first season with Alexis. Um, it was obviously Messi was there. Messi was Messi. They had, Iniesta still, Busquets. They had these, Xavi. Like he's definitely not spoken about. He's not the main guy. And Rodrigo, is he the main guy at Real Madrid? He's probably not, but he's still a very good player that goes under the radar there, in my opinion. He's definitely had some big moments. We all remember the Champions League, how clutch he's been in Champions League, for example. I know overall as a player, he is absolutely top class. And for me, when you talk about winners, this should be the guy we should be going for. Now, I think the main priority is it should it be Rodrigo? I don't think it should. I think first and foremost, we know what to do is get the striker in. Okay, spend the money on the striker, and then we'll assess what else we've got to do. We know Zubimendi already coming in. Then you get the striker in next. But if there is an opportunity available after we've got the striker, then there should be no reason why we should not be at least going and testing something or testing the waters to try and sign someone like Rodrigo. Yes, there's going to be a lot of money, but I would pay that money for a player like Rodrigo. On the flip side, on the flip side of this, Madrid may be a bit sort of have their, be a bit intelligent with this as well, this type of deal. They may sit there and say, if you want Rodrigo, give us Saliba. Now, I know swap deals doesn't really happen a lot in football anymore, but that could be one possibility. Another possibility as well is if we do give them the money of 100 million, they use that money and say, okay, we'll buy Saliba off you. So that there is maybe a little catch to this deal, maybe if you put it on that, if you spin it over. We know how Madrid really admire Saliba. We know how they want Saliba. They've been wanting him for a while now. They're still trying to do their best to get him. Even now, they're signing Dean Huyson. Report coming out today even Fabrizio said Madrid will still be there for Saliba. They still want Saliba in the future. It may not be this season, but they're still looking to sign Saliba. So they always have it on his radar. And if we're looking to negotiate for Rodrigo, then they may throw that in there, you know, or we're just funding them, more money to go on again, try and buy Saliba off of us. So at the end of the day, it's an interesting one when you look at it. I think Rodrigo's the best in terms of winners out there. That's going to be leaving in the summer. That will be available in the summer. I think Rodrigo is the best of the best that we could possibly go with, in my honest opinion. I think he's the best of the best. I wouldn't mind other winners. Don't get twisted. But if you're top choice winner, I should say, has to be none other than Rodrigo. It's got to be him. We can talk about alternatives. We'll probably look at Williams, Jamie Buano Gittins from Dortmund, maybe someone like Semenyo from Bournemouth, and Wemo if you want to stick in the Premier League. Maybe someone who can play sort of on the wing as a striker and a bit versatile. Maybe that sort of winner. The one I really want, I said it when I did a video a few weeks ago, was actually Ademola Lookman from Atalanta. He's the one I really do want Arsenal to go for. He's having a fantastic season over there at Atalanta. But Rodrigo, for me, absolute no-brainer. Okay, no-brainer. But as I said, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think it's right now. I think it's just a bit of rumors. You never know. Alonso may come in and just may want to keep this guy. It seems, and I'll end on this as well because I don't know how true these rumors are, but apparently he tweeted something. I don't know if it might be his actual Twitter account, but to this report, it wasn't from Madrid, it was from this other one. He liked a post being linked with Arsenal apparently, but again, that could be photoshopped. Anyone, any credibility in the chat, let me know about that, guys. If you guys know about that, I thought I'd mention it, bring it up, but part of me thinks it's probably photoshopped anyway. But apparently, he did like a post being in an Arsenal shirt, being linked with Arsenal, right? Number two, he also quote tweeted something, Rodrigo, on his Twitter underneath a report from Arsenal saying "Hello Madrid." He also came out, I think, and said that he's really happy at Madrid. I think the player's happy at Madrid, but it's more of like Madrid wanting maybe to let this guy go, which is, and I know he's got to be professional. I know it's partly PR. You can't come out and just completely dish your club because then you got no, then you won't go anywhere. But when he says that maybe he does want to stay at Madrid and maybe Alonso's coming in, of course, new manager could maybe, keep him in his plans. But we have to wait and see. It's going to be a very interesting summer for Rodrigo. If he's there available, if we've got the ability to do it, with obviously hope getting the striker in first and then we've got other positions and he becomes available, I'd go for it. I really would, guys. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on Rodrigo as well. Let me know, would you guys, of course, pay the money? Do you think this is possible? I said I'm not saying it's happening whatsoever. At the moment, I think it's unrealistic. I don't personally see it happening. Maybe one day in the future. I think these are the types of players we need to be bringing to Arsenal, though, because Rodrigo would be absolutely astonishing, and I'm all for it if we do, of course, have the main priority sorted out first. Thanks for everyone who watched as always. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another update. As always, come on, you Gunners.